I'm Belle. I have already won beauty contests of various scales. The fact is that since my childhood, I have been famous for my beauty. Yes, I was born beautiful. Oh no, don't think I'm exaggerating. I was recognized as the most beautiful child at the age of 5. It was an official statement from one of the country's fashion magazines. You will not believe it, but since then, a dark period in my life began. It's hard to be beautiful, especially if your parents are involved. As I said, I was recognized as the most beautiful at the age of 5. How did this happen? I was not even 4 years old when my mother opened an Instagram page on my behalf and kept it. The page quickly gained popularity, subscribers, and likes. Mom was getting into it more and more. Of course, she was proud of her daughter's beauty, but it seemed to be the only thing she was proud of. After a lot of people noticed my beauty and gorgeous hair, my mother came up with the idea to arrange a professional photo shoot. To do this, she hired a photographer and then uploaded the photo to social networks. Just a week ago, I was noticed not by ordinary internet users, but by stylists, makeup artists, and editors of fashion glossy magazines. I remember how my mother began to call from morning to night with offers to take pictures of me. But one day, they offered to star in a small commercial for children's chocolate. I was happy that I would eat free chocolate because I was promised a whole box. And my mother was happy that she was promised around some if she agreed to make her daughter the face of this product. Of course, we were all in the black. My mother took me to the studio, where they dressed me up in different clothes for an hour, painted my face, and I learned a little text and had to say it to the camera. Everything was easy and simple. I really like the atmosphere there. There are lights everywhere, light bulbs, cameras, people. Everyone was running around me, and all I had to do was eat chocolate, smile, and look at the camera. At the end of the day, as agreed, each of us with my mother got their own. After this idea, even more people noticed me. We received several more offers, and then more and more. My family made a good income from these films, but my mother was the happiest. She was so proud of me. At home, all the family members kept talking about my beauty. And once, my mother was offered the idea that I would participate in a beauty contest. This event was organized by the mayor's office of our city. Naturally, my mother was fired with the idea, especially since the main prize was a huge TV. I was very worried because it was my first beauty contest. When I got there, I saw so many girls. They were all beautiful. I even thought they were more beautiful than me. To my happiness, one beauty was not enough, and the participants had to pass some tests and complete a couple of tasks. I managed everything, but it wasn't easy. My family kept shouting my name from the audience. They supported me as much as they could. At the end of the competition, I took first place. "This is my daughter!" My mother screamed. I was crying and proud of myself. We arrived home happy with a huge new TV. A month later, my mother told me that I was waiting for another shoot, and then again a beauty contest. What? Again? Mom, don't we have enough money? And the TV hasn't broken yet, I said. But my mother quickly shut me up. She argued that my career is just beginning, and there are many more such as shootings, competitions, and photo sessions ahead of us. I understood that she wanted to earn as much as possible, and I wanted more dresses and toys. But I did not think that just a photo shoot can be so tiring. Over time, she became obsessed with my appearance. She forbade me to play outside because she was afraid that I might get hurt, or worse, hurt my face. She took me to the beauty salon 3 to 4 times a week to have my hair washed and styled. I changed dress after dress, shoes after shoes. I think I was already automatically posing for the camera, like a robot. And when I thought that this was the last photo shoot, another beauty contest was approaching. Everything was repeated. I showed myself, walked, answered a lot of questions, danced, said some phrase at the end and won. And you know, the more I won, the more my mother wanted to be famous. At some point, I even thought that she was forcing me to participate not because of my bright future or even because of money, but simply because it was her hidden childhood dream, and now she is implementing it through her daughter. This went on several years. Over the years, I only become more beautiful and I participate in competitions more often. I was so tired that I wish I didn't look like this. So, on one of these crazy days, my mother came up to me and said that there was another contest coming and I should participate. But how, Mom? It's going to be my birthday. Can I at least once over the years not participate in the competition? And normally celebrate my birthday, invite my friends, who I have almost no laugh and relax? I asked. My mother was angry at this and said that any girl would want to be in my place. And I just got too fat. When I heard these words, it seemed to me that I had already lost my value as her daughter. She probably forgot that I was a child first. I locked myself in my room and went on a head strike. My mother just screamed that I was spoiled and that sooner or later I would leave the room and then I wouldn't be happy. At the same time, she promised to burn all my dresses and shoes. But I didn't care about them anymore. I sat there all day. There was a knock on the door and I yelled for my mother to leave. But it was my father. I let him in and he brought me my favorite sandwich and milk. Everything as I like it. Don't be mad at your mother and eat. I don't know how to cook anything else, so I will make dinner for you, he said. Then Dad said that he was very worried for me. I can see how tired you are. Sometimes I just want to take you to Disneyland, even though you're already making money. Mom forgot that you're just a kid. I'll talk to her. I should have done this a long time ago, he said. I burst into tears and said that they were the best words that I was waiting for them. Then I ate my dinner and went to bed. The next day, I went down for breakfast. My mom and dad were fighting a lot at that moment. My mother accused him of meddling and that she gave birth to me, not him. I heard those terrible words and I felt so bad. Enough! I shouted. Enough, Mother. I will participate. Don't worry. Have it your way, I said. Dad started to object, but I waved him away. My mother calmed down and went to her room. I began to prepare and came up with something. I decided to finally give up my career in order to live a normal life. I wanted to have a childhood. One day, when the competition started, I cut my hair in the dressing room at random while no one was looking, and went on stage in this image. The judges were stunned, and my mother seemed to faint. The host couldn't find the words to express his emotion, but I snatched the microphone out of his hands and told him that this was my way of protesting to all those parents for whom the promotion of children's career has replaced motherhood. I want a normal childhood. I'm sorry, Mom, but you probably forgot that I'm a child first. I love you, but I can't just be beautiful anymore. After all, I'm your daughter, I said, and left the stage. My dad met me on the way out and took me home, and we picked up a bunch of hamburgers on the way out. Oh, it's been a long time since I've eaten fast food. A couple of hours later, my mother came home. I was all ready for a universal scandal, but she suddenly came to me, hugged me, and asked for forgiveness. I was touched. Since then, before deciding anything for me, she first consulted with me.
Would you like to have some kind of superpower? What would you choose? I'd prefer teleportation, telekinesis, or the ability to inspire. But my friends say I already have a special gift. I will tell you about it now. According to my mother's story, the day I was born was crazy weather. Rain turned to snow, snow to rain, then suddenly sunshine. They were very much waiting for my birth with my father, since their age was old and there were no more children. It will seem strange, but I did not grow and develop like all children. At about 9 months, I already began to walk, and when I was barely 2 years old, I was already talking. Because of my rapid development and early age, I could not go to kindergarten, so my parents hired teachers and I studied at home. My mother said that I have a great desire and interest in studying. All night, there were practically no toys in my room. I was literally drowning in encyclopedias. I could not quench my thirst for knowledge. I thought I was getting stronger when I knew more. My parents were proud that I had such a great memory and that I was such a gifted child. They were sure that I was born for a special purpose. With this thought in mind, I continued to develop my skills. At about 6 years old, I already knew 2 foreign languages, Spanish and French. As expected, I had to go up the social ladder gradually, so when I went to first grade, I was really bored. Just imagine that you are 18 years old in development and you are sitting among children and learning the alphabet. But my parents asked me to be patient, to give them time to prepare the principal and teachers for my talent. The first 6 months, I still somehow lasted, but I was irritated by my peers, who drew letters as they fell, read from syllables, and did not know the periodic table. For my little rebellion and refusal to get acquainted with the letter R, I was put alone in the very back of the desks. This proved to be a good thing, because there I was not disturbed by anyone, and I allowed myself to continue studying probability theory. My classmates were afraid of my appearance. I think because I felt much older than them and looked like a baby, and children feel each other. I managed to pretend to be normal, but over time, my acting skills began to fail. Okay, I admit, I did it on purpose. Our teacher, Miss Gandhi, was a nice girl, quite erudite, correct, and very attractive to look at. I told you I was only a child on the outside. I can already evaluate women's beauty. So once, in one of the lessons, she gave us a task. She was preparing for some courses in mathematics. Miss Gandhi tried to multiply, divide, add up large numbers in her mind. 1, 2, 3 times 6, 3, 4, you get 77,981. 2, I said. What? Will be 77,982. The teacher looked questioningly at the classroom door, but there was no one else there. First, she checked everything on the calculator, then looked at the class. Everyone was busy with her task, everyone except me. She asked if I had spoken to her. Well, I did not miss the opportunity to have a dialogue with her. I told her that I am actually a little different. My teacher was thrilled. She admired my talent for 10 minutes, and then she imagined telling the principal about me and me bringing the school gold medals in intellectual competitions. When I came home after school, my parents were furious. They didn't like the idea of me acting on my own. They considered my gift exceptional, and they were afraid that it might cost us dearly, that others may begin to think that I was abnormal. In short, they chose silence, like I'm some kind of mutant. I told them they promised to train teachers, but they never did, and I was tired of sitting here like this. The next day, I had a meeting with my parents at the principal's office, where I demonstrated my abilities. Miss Gandhi kept saying that I was unique and that I couldn't hide it. She called the parents' outburst a crime. In general, as expected, I participated in many Olympiads and competitions on behalf of the school. Since I was too young, I was offered to go to school, but at the same time to study at the level that is convenient for me. When I was 12 years old, I passed all the exams in the school curriculum and graduated with high school students. By then, I was already a local star. I was asked to create a club for gifted children and work with the children there, and I agreed. But that's not all. My fame, of course, went beyond the school. Strangers began to come visit us and offer to participate in their projects. Among them were not only honest businessmen, but also scammers. They saw my gift from their own angle, promised to pay. I admit, by that time I was looking for something unusual, a modern place of work where people would not pay attention to my age. And I found it. A few years later, after passing an interview and completing dozens of tricky tasks, I was working for an American multinational corporation, and you know what? If you feel a talent, the ability to come up with something, create. Do not give in to mass influence. Do not hesitate to act. No one can feel you like you do.